Morning. Om Shanti, Namaste. Bev Hetherington here. Thanks for joining me. So One Posture Wednesday comes around quickly every week. I teach about 15 minutes or so where I break down one yoga posture, one asana. So the idea of this is for all the new people that are coming to move the moment at home, and hopefully giving you some insight into each individual yoga posture. And also, as I do this, we build up a little sequence. So there's several other postures that I've already taught now. You can find those on my website. That's www.nutri5plus.co.uk. And if you go to my website and you scroll to the weekly classes that I offer online and go to Wednesday, and there's a little highlighted word called, it says here, and you click on that and it takes you straight to my YouTube channel where you'll see all of these videos. You go under videos and they're there. So there's several One Posture Wednesdays. There's also a couple of other bits that I did when I was on holiday a couple of years ago. And there's a 30-minute chair yoga sequence as well. So do let me know if this is of interest, if this is something you're enjoying, and if you would like others too. Okay, so thanks again for joining me. This week's One Posture Wednesday is Downward Facing Dog. In Sanskrit, that's Adho, Mukha, Svanasana. So I'll quickly go through the other things that I've been offering, and you can get them in the detail, the other postures, that is, in detail on the One Posture Wednesday. But the other postures I've offered so far bring us very neatly towards Downward Facing Dog, and you can access that from the ground or from standing, and I'll show you those postures. So if you'd like to come to Child's Posture, and again, all of these postures, I'm going to I'm going to whiz through them because they're all on the One Posture Wednesday. And you might see I've got the big toes touching and the knees nice and wide. And if your seat, as you draw it towards your heels, doesn't meet the feet, then you can put something soft underneath, maybe a cushion or a pillow, a rolled up blanket to the back of the knees. You're drawing the elbows, forearms and palms down. And the broader, the wider we take the arms towards the long sides of the mat, the easier access it is into the shoulders. So you might also bring in a book or a tin of something to put your forehead on. And you might settle in here, and this is Balasana, Child's Posture. So when you're ready from here, we would move into perhaps a little tabletop, a great transitionary posture. And this tabletop is, again, on One Posture Wednesday, and it's all about sending the top of your head forwards, straight forwards, and the tailbone straight backwards. So the idea here is that the spine is long, that we're not collapsing. As you can see, I've dropped down. So we're inviting the belly, the lower belly into the back body, and the ribs flat to the back body, and the heart in between the shoulder blades. So we're not rounding. A nice long flat back, and then we're inviting the crook of the elbows to face each other, not forward. So this broadens the collarbones, and again, this is all on One Posture Wednesday. Spread the toes, activate the top of the feet, activate the spaces, the webbing between the toes, the fingers and thumbs. And here we would perhaps move into a movement with the breath, led by the breath. So that would be inhaling, lifting head, heart and tail, a cow posture, Visalasana, and exhaling, perhaps rounding the chin to the chest, sucking the belly and the heart to the back spine, Asana, or cat posture. So we would inhale, and the breath would happen a moment before the movement as it leads you in, and you might look straight forwards, or if you have a little more, watch the back of the neck, you might gaze up higher. And exhaling, rounding, sucking everything to the back spine. Don't lock the elbows, there's a tendency to do that. Have a little micro bend in your joints. And then inhaling, let's take one more like that. Spread fingers, thumbs and toes. And exhaling. sucking everything into the back body. Good. Let's come to neutral as we inhale. And this is a great place that we can come up to standing from, or we can come to downward facing dog from. So I'm going to offer down dog from here. So I'm going to inhale and take the hands forwards of the shoulders. Keep the fingers and thumbs wide, and we're still accessing the webbing. So with the hands, we don't want to see any light underneath the knuckles of the fingers, thumbs, palms, heel of the hand. We want to press through the mat. And when you're ready, you're going to tuck your toes underneath you. And you're going to inhale, keep pressing the hands through the mat that lifts the knees. And you're slowly going to send the hips back and up and let the head be free. So quite common, the first thing that I see here when this is a new posture to people is that their weight, you can see now, are all over the hands. So there's a stack between shoulder, elbow and wrist. They're all stacked on top of one another. You can see that. And it's really heavy in the upper body and nothing's really happening in the legs and feet. So if we press through the mat with the hands, keep pressing the hands through the mat, we start to send the hips backwards, and now we have more weight in the feet and legs. And we'd like to have at least 60% or more in the feet and legs, and the rest in the arms. So from here, let the head be free, let it dangle, don't let it be part of the posture. And really connect through the fingers, thumbs, and really propel yourself backwards. And notice if the shoulders are hunching and rounding up to your earlobes. Try and relax them and broaden them. And the shoulder blades are slowly drawing in towards the midline spine and down to the tail. And you're really pressing the hands deeply into that mat and away so that you're propelling yourself backwards. And you can have the hands shoulder distance or wider, so it's got more access for your shoulders. And the feet can be hip distance or wider, more access for your hips. And if it's really tight in the back of the legs, if you have very, very tight hamstrings, you can bend the knees as much as you like and sit the weight back more. If you find that the ground's too far away because you're really, really tight in the back of the legs, you can bring in a couple of books to put your hands on. So this lifts you from the ground. You're still pressing through the hands, still propelling yourself backwards, so you're activating legs and feet. Just means you're not having to overstretch if it feels too much on the back of those legs with the hands on the ground. So the first time we come to this posture, this is quite common. So you know you can use books, several different variations, different widths and depths of books will really help being able to access this posture. And it's really about eventually, and this happens over time, straightening the arms and legs, not locking the joints, so that we lengthen the spine. But to start with, it's quite common to have the knees bent, particularly if it's the first couple of thousand times you're doing the posture. And relax the shoulders, let the head be released. And then the body, the torso, tends to sag sometimes. So again, we want to draw the belly into the back spine and the ribs into the back spine. We're sculpting the front body into the back body, and the tailbone is traveling off the back of your spine and down the back of your legs to ground you into your heels. Or you can even think that it's just pressing straight backwards, if that might be an easier visual to begin with. And as the heels slowly come down over time, you would start to lengthen and take the posture longer and start to scoot the feet back a bit more. Relaxing the toes and spreading them, relaxing the fingers and thumbs and spreading them. And then take a little rest and come down onto your knees and maybe back to that little child's posture, perhaps with a prop underneath your seat and maybe something underneath your forehead. And just settling the breath and the body down to take rest from your Adho, Mukha, Svanasana, your downward facing dog. So just going to come back in because I'd like to show you that step up to the hands. And this is another common question for people when they're new to practice. So you come into your down dog again. Relax the shoulders, let the head be free. Suck the front body into the back body. Remember, feet hip distance or wider, hand shoulder distance or wider. And just before we step up, a variation of the legs, an awareness rather of the legs. The outside thighs are flicking backwards, as are the outside knee and the outside calf. So you're really switching on those legs. And then a lot of the time we often walking, stepping or floating the feet up to the hands. And for some of us, that's not available yet, and that is welcome. So I often suggest to people to come to the knees, back into our tabletop, and then you'd step one foot up, and then you'd step the other foot up, and we'd find a forward fold. And again, this is on our One Posture Wednesday for you to access. And we're going to inhale and come all the way up to stand. So if you ever get dizzy coming up, slow down or stop and wait for the dizziness to pass, and then slowly make your way back up. Roll the shoulders away from your ears, and we're now at the top of the mat, prepared for Tadasana. So again, this is on One Posture Wednesday. Relax the toes, spread them, and you're connecting through the four corners of the feet, the balls, the outside blades, and the inside-outside heels. So there's a lift in the inner arch up through inside ankle, inside knee, inside groins, all the way up. Draw the belly up, Uddiyana Bandha, and abdominal lift and lock. Relax the glutes and the tail down. Keep drawing that lift and length, front ribs onto the back body, broad at the collarbones. Jalandhara Bandha at the throat, we tuck the chin back and up. Anytime you probably want a triple chin, and you're reaching out the top of the head as you press down through the four corners of those feet. And then from here, we're going to inhale and take the arms up. And as we exhale, we're going to forward fold. You can bend the knees as much as you like, let the chin tuck to the chest. Inhale to your little halfway lift. So you might have the hands on the thighs, on the shins, you might have them on some props, you might have fingers in line with toes. And then bend the knees, plant the palms to the ground, and step back to that downward facing dog again. So that's another way to access it. And that's quite common from standing to start a sun salutation, Surya Namaskara. And there's one of those also on my YouTube channel. So feet, again, hip distance or wider, and always good to pedal it out. Hands, shoulder distance or wider, really connect with all the fingers, thumbs, knuckles and palms. Relax the shoulders, really press through the ground with those hands to propel you backwards. And eventually we're looking for from wrist to elbow to roll in and from elbow to shoulder to roll out. But that comes with time. Again, let the head be free, suck the front body into the back body, send that tailbone way off the back spine and down into the heels to ground you. Press back, remember you can have a deep bend in the knees. And remember, you can have props for your hands if the ground feels too far away and it's very tight in the back of the legs. Take a full breath, breathing in all the way into the belly and breathing out all the way out to the nose. Inhale, come to your knees. Exhale and tuck your toes. And that's downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And that will be available on my YouTube channel under the little video section, either later today or tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. Om Shanti. Namaste.